Well, hello, friends. Shall we get ready together? I have some things to update you on, things I want to chat about. I got some questions from you guys I wanted to answer, and I figure let's do it. Coffee chat, get ready with me style, as we do here. So yeah, let's dive in. I am getting ready because we are going out to dinner here in a couple of hours, but you may be like, where are you? Also, it probably sounds echoey. Sorry, bathroom sounds, that sounded gross. Anyways, we are in California actually, and it's specifically called Encinitas, which is a town just on the Pacific Ocean near like Oceanside, Solana Beach. I'm trying to think of what's near, but we didn't start here, and this is not our whole trip. We're actually, however, flying home tomorrow, the day I'm filming this. I'm gonna shake this up. So we actually started our week in Disneyland. We spent 4 nights there at a Good Neighbor Hotel. It was the Courtyard, and we loved it. It was an amazing hotel, and the staff there was so friendly. Like, it was just awesome. But that looks so white. We basically, sometimes I forget how much of this or how little of it, it'll just spread, and it's your SPF. So I usually do like a second layer, but I'm just saying it's like unbelievable. I am an absolute mess today, you guys. This is honestly how I have felt the past few days. We are tired. I'm gonna get into how our week has been, but we are just exhausted. So we were in Disneyland for 4 days. It was amazing. My brother lives here in California with his family, and so we love visiting him. He's the brother I'm the closest to in age, just 2 years apart, not even 2 years apart. So I always dying to see him. So it was so nice. They came in for a day. My parents actually flew here to California with us so they could spend time with them. So they've actually been staying with them in a different city, Temecula, if you are familiar. Anyway, I say all of that to say it's been kind of cool because it's been like a flex vacation where we did some Disney, we saw some family, then me, Tyler, and the girls came to this like rental, Airbnb, whatever, here on the beach. We spent some time here. The family visited us here, and then we went out and visited them yesterday. So it's been kind of a nice, like I said, kind of hybrid vacation. I guess that's what I mean. And do I put on more? I feel like I should. That's the thing. I love this stuff because it is like an unbelievable, almost as like foundation, but it's just your SPF. But I always feel like because a little bit goes a long way, I always have to layer a bunch. But I mean, that's makeup. Like, does it match the redness of my skin right now? No, it does not. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I really don't. I'm just gonna ride that wave, baby. Anyway, so it's been really fun, but honestly, we went to Legoland because it's like 15 minutes from where we're staying right now. The other day, I think we just shouldn't have gone. And Legoland, first of all, is really cool. It had nothing to do with Legoland. We would totally go again. Like, I would recommend it. But we did very little planning because we were kind of excited to go to a theme park we don't know. We were like, let's just ride the wave, see where it takes us. But our 3-year-old, of course, was just tired from the past few days. We're off our sleep schedule. Like, her naps, she's not always napping. Like, it's just thrown her off, which in turn, of course, throws all of us off. I'm like, do I just put it on my chest? Maybe. But I'm wearing a white shirt, like, it's so stark. Let me maybe put on something that's a little bit more neutral and less. Let's just pile it on, guys. I brought a weird smattering, I feel like, of makeup this time. I was kind of rushing through, and I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, we're just tired. So it just wasn't the most fun time in Legoland. Plus, we knew we didn't want to stay super long because we wanted to go visit family. And with California traffic, an hour-long drive ended up being a 2-hour-long drive. Like, everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. We had an accident in the car, not car accident. Potty accident in the car, fits were thrown. We didn't have enough snacks because we thought we'd have time to go back here before we headed there, and we didn't. And like we said, traffic. So y'all that live in California or that live where there's like heavy traffic and you drive, how do you do it? Literally, that 2-hour drive just about killed us. We were like, and it wasn't just, we're talking about driving with kids, okay? If it was just us driving with silence, listen, that sounds kind of awesome. Anyway, this is sounding very negative. We really have had an amazing trip. I think with kids, by the time you get to the end of the vacation, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. Some of you guys were like, yep, I know exactly what you mean. That is where we are right now. Nonetheless, today's been a good day. We decided to kind of lay low. We were going to meet them out in San Diego, go explore Old Town. We've done that a couple times before. So we were like, you know what? Let's just enjoy this beautiful beach house with this beautiful view. We're going to head down to the beach and enjoy that. Maybe order dinner and then head down to the beach and eat it there. Like something like that. Just some enjoyable time, which it feels like it's been a very go vacation, which is just the way some vacations are. But we basically decided for today we wanted to truly take a breath, slow down, and enjoy it. So that's what we're doing. Okay. So it's been good. It's we fly home like midday tomorrow. We have a washer and dryer here, which is so nice. So we were able to wash and dry stuff and like beachy stuff that's inevitably getting sandy. We're able to wash that before having to take it home, which makes me so happy. But I definitely need to do like one more load and then I'll have to pack. I'm trying to decide if I want to like pack everything. It's not really our stuff. It's the kids' stuff. Right now they have like a little room that they're sleeping on, like this pull-out bed thing. It is such a mess in there. We didn't like properly unpack because we got in late and then it was busy days. And so when I look in that room, I'm like, it gives me hives. So repacking that, honestly, in the weirdest way will feel good because I'll be like, all right, what in here is literal trash? What needs to be washed? What, you know what I mean? And just getting it all packed and home. Sometimes though, this is a realization I've had in recent years. A vacation is amazing because you have so much fun, like prepping for it, planning for it, getting excited about it, counting down. But then at the end, when you're kind of ready to get back to normal, back to like, normal meals that you're eating, that you're used to eating, and your bed and just your day-to-day life stuff, I feel like it makes you almost appreciate to a certain extent regular life too. And obviously that's not 100% of the time true. Like, sometimes you're going back to a job, you're like, but it's those other things that you're like, man, I really do miss. Like, I'm excited to be home for this reason. And a lot of times, Tyler and I have made the habit of when we're on our way home from a vacation, especially if it's like a longer one, we will trade back and forth like, okay, what are you excited about at home? Because it is sad, of course, when a vacation's ending. Like, I would much rather still be here a couple more days, but you get what I'm saying. And I think it's a nice practice because it puts in perspective, like, this was really fun, but also there is amazing stuff happening at home too, and stuff that is just comfortable. Like one of the things we always look forward to on a vacation is like, I can't wait to sit on the couch with you and just chill for a minute. Like once the kids are asleep, just having that like normal, predictable-ish schedule. Okay, so I wanted to answer, I need to go find my phone. I wanted to answer some questions you guys had. Hold on. So Brittany May Beauty asked, going through the toddler trenches, how did you stay sane? I'm still going through them. I really am. And I was just talking to my sister-in-law about this yesterday because they also have a toddler and then they also have like a young baby. We were just talking about how different kids can be, like siblings can be. But also just how you just get through it day by day. And then suddenly you wake up one day and they're not acting like that anymore. And it's not like a day that you notice, but you like suddenly realize like, oh, they're not acting like a toddler anymore. Like and then you're like, oh, when did they start? And you don't know, like you can't pinpoint. And it's kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, and I always have to remind myself, like these kids in front of me, this toddler will be a grown up one day. Like, she will not always act like this. And it helps, like I've got Genevieve to look at and be like, she's so well behaved, like she's so sweet, she's so thoughtful, she's been so amazing on this trip and she's helped us out so much. Like, so, there's just that. I promise there's a silver lining when you're in the thick of it. And the other, I think, hard part is like going out and about with toddlers and like dealing with people staring if they're throwing a tantrum or whatever. And everyone I've ever talked to about this, everyone has gone through that. So I think as a general rule, when you're in public, most people that are looking probably have been through that themselves, or at least maybe they were an older sibling watching. Like everyone knows. I feel like toddlers are going to be toddlers no matter where you are as a general rule. And most people just get it. And those that don't, it is what it is. They're not going to be thinking about your toddler throwing a tantrum when they're home that night over dinner. Like it's just in that moment, that discomfort. So, and as always, and like everyone always says like, oh, You'll miss, these days are gonna fly by, and I know that. In my heart, I know that. But it doesn't make it any easier right now. I don't know. And if anything, I sometimes feel the weight of like that idea that time is flying by and like all of that. And that the weight of that is too much. I've started to have to, like, I felt like my Facebook and Instagram feed was becoming exclusively like things like that, where it's like, oh, you're, you know, I'm enjoying this childhood because they only get one childhood, and eventually they'll be older, and eventually I'll look back on this and miss it. Those kinds of posts, while I feel like they're really sweet meaning, I don't think there's anything wrong with that kind of post. I realized that I was seeing that every single day, multiple times a day. And I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, I think I realized this was making it almost harder, because then when I would feel tired or worn down or frustrated, I would feel guilty, like, no, you're supposed to enjoy every minute of this. I'm like, no, the reality is not all of it is enjoyable, and parts of it can be just hard, and that's okay too. Like, we're not meant to enjoy 365, 7 days a week, like every moment with your kid. It's just not the way parenthood is. It's just not. And I think being faced with that kind of messaging, at first I thought, oh, that's good. It's a good reminder every day, but it's like, I think it's too much. I think I get it. I know. And if I'm seeing it every day, I'm constantly feeling guilty about when I do have those moments of frustration or just being overstimulated. Anyway, so if you're feeling that way and you see a lot of those posts, you might consider, you know, you can, like on Facebook, you can hit the X or whatever, not interested. So those will show up less in your feed. It kind of trains the algorithm to know, like, you're not interested in that. And I feel like it's been better. I'm not seeing it as often, so I'm not having to overthink everything every single day. Augusta Hendy said, any new book recs? So I am about halfway through in my me day, self-care day, whatever video. I can link if you haven't seen it. You should definitely watch it next. It was so much fun. In that video, I actually bought 2 books. I bought Olive Kitteridge, which is like Pulitzer Prize winning book. And then I also bought A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, both of which are like well-known books. And I'm like, you know what? I've read a lot of like recent launches and new things and stuff, and I enjoy all that. But I'm like, these kinds of books that have like won awards, that are beloved, I want to read more of those, because I feel like you're getting some quality stuff. So halfway through Olive Kitteridge, loving it. This is for you if you are into the kind of book like Anne Patchett style, where it's like heavy on the imagery of like a beautiful red leaf falling to the ground, like setting up the setting, the scene that you're in, almost like random things being brought up in this beautifully poetic way that you're like, I totally get what they mean. Like, I can't explain it other than that, but if you like that kind of thing like I do, you would love this book. I don't know where it's going or how it ends. Yeah, I am into that kind of style, and very like deep life thoughts kind of books. You're meeting all of these characters in this town of Crosby, Maine. You're basically hearing a lot of their life story, their backstory, and like, I never thought that kind of thing would be that interesting to me, but boy, oh boy, I cannot put this thing down. And you know, you talk about like a beach read being something like light and fun, and that's what I think of too. But I think there's also a place for a book like this when you're sitting beside the ocean, let's say. There is something so mighty and powerful about the ocean that for me, it makes me think really deeply about life. And I'm certain I'm not alone in that. And I feel like this is the kind of book that I want to read. You know what I mean? I want to be thinking deeply about life when I'm by the beach. So maybe my definition of beach read is changing. But I know that Olive Kitteridge, there's more than just this book. There's at least one more, maybe 2. I need to look it up. So yeah, loving that so far, even though I'm only halfway through. So highly recommend that one. It doesn't really matter how it ends. I love it. I don't want the book to end. I can tell you that. But yeah, one of you guys brought up that Anne Patchett, and you're so right. That's why I brought it earlier. It's very similar writing style, and I've read 1 or 2 of her books, but I really like her style as well, and it's very similar. How am I going to do this? I might have to do the liner separate. I've got you propped up on a literal windowsill, along with this mirror that was here. And so I'm like, the lighting's okay. Obviously, like, it works, but it's not like safe. I don't know. I can link any makeup I'm using below, obviously, if you're kind of curious about something. And if I Didn't really show it. Let's see what else you guys were curious about. You guys asked some really good questions this time. The amount of people asking my thoughts on Taylor Swift's new album is hilarious. I actually quite like it. And it's so funny. My friend, Emily, who a lot of you guys know who I'm talking about, she and I went together to the movie, whatever, like launch party. What do you even call it? Album release movie thing. Together, and it was so much. It was literally the night before we left on this trip. It was so much fun. I actually really like it, and yeah, it's not exactly like all her other stuff, but I can still like that and like the other stuff and hold both of those truths to be true, you know. But she sent me a reel that was so on the nose, and some of you guys might have seen it, but it was like, you know what? It is so fun being a like low level Taylor Swift lover, like being low key, because those that are like spending their every waking hour dissecting the album and deciding like that they hate it because of XYZ and here's why it's terrible, and dissecting the songs and the lyrics and the everything and spending so much time doing it. She was like, you've taken all the joy out of it. Like, just enjoy. Like, you can like some of the songs. If you don't like a song, skip it. Like, it doesn't have to be as deep, I think, as we're all making it to be. It just kind of made me laugh. Like, you do you. I get it. Like, I mean, I will sit there when the album released. I literally did a power walk for the entire time and like had the lyrics playing and listening to it while walking. So, I mean, I was in. I'm enjoying it. Not every single song I think is for me, but I really do enjoy a lot of the songs on it. I really like Wish List a lot. Like, that's probably my favorite. Like, I like the song Life of a Showgirl and some of those, but I'm like, those are not the ones I'm going to play. Like, Wish List for sure. Honey, I liked. I did like The Fate of Ophelia. Oh, Opalite. So I think my top two are Wish List and Opalite. I really, really loved both of those songs. So I also liked Eldest Daughter. Anyway, so I actually quite like it. I don't know if this will go down as like my favorite album of hers ever. I don't think so. I don't even know what would be. I like too many songs from too many different albums for that to matter. Like, I would just burn my own CD of what I like. You know what I mean? Anywho, what are your guys' thoughts? I'm actually curious. First of all, what is your like top two favorite songs and why? And how would you compare this album to our other ones, like in terms of like how you like it? Okay, Sam Zetnick asks, advice about career change. I'm scared to leave teaching music for nannying. What if I miss it? You can go back, baby. And that is honestly the most freeing thought if you really think about it. You leave a career to go do something else, you can go back. You can change your mind. There is no expiration date. I mean, maybe like a teaching license, you might have to get, renew your license. Okay, but you can do that. That is all doable. Nothing, I think the realization that nothing you decide is ever final is very freeing. I think about that a lot of times with politics. Like, people I know that are really set in their ways on all sides of the aisle. Here, there, and in between. Nothing is final. Like, you can change your mind. You can have supported someone and then realize, like, you know what? Now that I'm taking a step back, I don't think my views align with this person. Or like, same with jobs. Like, you can have started with the job that's what you really wanted to do, maybe a career, whatever. Maybe you went to school for it, and then decide, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore. You could be 68, like, you know what I mean? Do whatever you want is my point. Like, there's no expiration date. It doesn't matter how old you are, and that you can always change your mind and go back. You might leave, let's say you left teaching, did another job, and after like a year or 10 years or 7 years or 20 years, you decide, you know what? I want to go back to that, or I want to do something different yet again, or it doesn't matter. There are no rules. Like, obviously what matters is you want to have a job where you can pay your bills, but like, removing that from the equation and really just thinking about it, like, no decision you make is ever final, especially with something like that. So, and especially with teaching, like, depending on where you live, I guess, but I feel like where we live, like, they are dying for teachers. So, teachers don't get paid enough. Teachers should get paid more. Teachers should get paid way, way more. Man. So, yeah, that is my thoughts on that. I don't know if that's helpful to you or not. I hope it is, though, that, if you're really feeling this pull to do something different and you can swing it, you can do it, do it. Because you'll never know what you'll never know if you don't ever try it. And then you'll constantly wonder, let's say you stayed in the job and you're just constantly wondering, like, man, what if I had switched to this job back when I wanted to? Like, what would my life be like now? What would, whatever. Tanya C. Pink asks, will you guys be doing Vlogmas this year? Fingers crossed. We are gonna see. Our tentative answer is probably yes. It might look a little different though, so we'll see. If you didn't know, because I know I've got new eyeballs here, Vlogmas is where we're vlogging every day in December. We've done it for years, but it's always over on my husband Tyler's channel, which I can link below. You can see them from previous years. They're all in playlists there. It's so fun. It's super like low key, chill vlogs. Like that's the idea of them, is that they're super low key, and they also can't be super hard to edit because we're having to put it up every single day, But anyway, yeah, so it might look a little different, but yeah, they would be on Tyler's channel most likely, and we're pretty sure we're gonna do them. So it might look different. I don't mean the actual video content. It just might be, we might do like 2 days and 1 upload type thing. We'll see. We want to still do it, but it's getting to the point where it's really, really difficult to do every single day. So if we were to like take 2 days and upload like days 1 and 2 together and days 3 and 4 together, it would make it a little bit more manageable. So we'll see. We'll see. It's crazy that it's coming up though, isn't it? Like, as in the holidays, the high holidays. Angelica G asked, do y'all plan on living in the house we have forever? Probably not. It depends on so many factors in life. Like if things happen the way we want them to. As of right now though, we don't plan to move anytime soon. We have done so much work on this house and we just want to enjoy it. We want to enjoy our new deck and our basement and like those kinds of things that we, saved up for, spent a lot of money on. Like, I want to enjoy them. And we love that house. We really do. If you recall, there were, it was years back. We had thought about moving and we had some reasons beyond just like, oh, we want a new house. And we haven't always shared those online, and I'm probably not going to. Maybe I have in the past. I actually don't know. But anyway, all that to say, we changed our mind, and I'm glad we did, because we would have been moving at like the hardest time to move when it comes to like interest rates and all that. But also we just love our house. So. My little soda pop. By the way, for those wondering, I did open a new tube of the Tower 28 for this trip. I like had it. It's feeling a lot more like the way I remembered it being and how much I loved it, which is great. Because the last one I had, I was like, did they change the formula? Like, is this awful? But it's good again. But again, I'm like, now that I've tried more, like I'm still loving this darn colossal one, even though I always have to like wipe off, whatever. It's so good though. I got this lipstick, but I like ordered it online from Kosas. It's the shade Rosewater, but it got all melty in the mailbox, so it's all messed up. I'm like, man. But I actually have not worn it on this trip yet, and I would like to. So I have this Make It Forever Boundless Berry. My nail here broke. Minute 1 of this trip, you guys. Day 1. We were just parking at our own airport to leave, and I was getting a bag out of the car. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I think this will be a good match for this. Ooh, isn't this a pretty pink? It's like moisturizing. I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time I'm like actually wearing it, and I feel like it looks way darker on camera. I wish you guys could see it. It's just a slightly pinker than it looks on there, and I feel like it's really nice. So anywho, last step, I have been doing and loving the L'Oreal 3-second mist. Just can't breathe for like 10 seconds, Yeah, it's like super comfy too. C. Petrino 7707 asks, can you do a thrift with me again? I loved it. Yes. I actually have it on my schedule to do very soon. I was thinking about pushing it back though, because I was like, I just did the one I mentioned earlier, the like hang out with me, run errands with me video. And I was like, is it too similar? I'm like, well, it is different. So we'll see. I might do it sooner rather than later. I might push it back a few weeks, but definitely soon, because I had so much fun doing it. If you didn't see my last thrift with me, I'll link it below too. Maggie Sue asks, it's Halloween night. What candy are you and Tyler stealing from the girls' buckets? Reese's. Tyler's answer would also be Reese's. Bonus points for him if it is dark chocolate Reese's, which is pretty rare to find in a, Halloween bucket, but still. Tish La Torres said, what is a misconception people have about you? Oof. I don't know, girl. I do not know. I'm sure there are many. I think of it in terms of like how would I know what your misconception is? But things that will be commented back to me so that that I see them. What do we think about little poof in the front? Is that out? Is that in? I feel like that hasn't come back quite yet, but I actually quite like it. We used to do our hair like this in a show choir. That was like the look. I don't hate it though, right? Like, should I? Do I even have what I need to do it? I think some people, I get questions like, how's your house clean all the time? Or, how do you stay happy and positive all the time? I'm like, I'm not. I hate that I would even give you the misconception that I'm happy all the time, or that I've got it all together, that it's clean all the time. And I try to share it with you guys, again, I'm not picking up the camera. Most people are not picking up the camera when a kid is throwing a tantrum and filming that, or when the house is a mess and he's showing the mess. So every once in a while I will show in a vlog like, hey, see? Because I don't ever want to give that misconception out there, because we are all seeing enough online of like perfectly curated everything. And it's, at least for me personally, when I see that all the time, I mean, it's hard, because you feel like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? Why does my house not look like that? Or why is my house not always clean? Or why are my kids not behaved like that? And why are, and you just kind of do that whole thing. And and we all know that like the things you're seeing, like these people that have perfectly curated feeds, it's like, that's not their totally real life. But anyway. Hold on, I got a little one. We went to the grocery store. Actually, Tyler went for us. And Tyler, when I send him to the grocery store, I'm like, hey, like Felicity was napping. I was like, can you go out, like get these couple things? I'll stay here with the kids. So he goes, I'm like, and maybe grab something since we'll have some family over for one of the days. Like maybe grab some stuff for that, whatever. He comes home with so many groceries. I was like, there is no way we're going to eat through all this. Like, oh my gosh, guess what? We have eaten through almost it's kind of crazy. Like even for 3 or 4 days, I'm like, we're not going to eat through all that. But it's like, well, if that's all that we, if we're here and we're only eating, generally one meal out, maybe like, well, we need stuff for breakfast. We need some lunch stuff. We need maybe a dinner thing, like whatever. So anyway, he proved me wrong. He got the right amount of groceries, because we have eaten through nearly all of it. But it's mostly things like, applesauce pouches and cheese. We got some like blueberries and bananas. We'd actually gotten a few groceries in Disneyland, like not in the park. I mean, like ordered some there. So a few of those came with us to this place, which worked out pretty well. But I guess in theory, we needed like a week's worth of groceries, and it's always so much cheaper, to get the groceries versus like trying to eat out all the time. Also, it's exhausting to eat out all the time with little kids. It's fun until it's not, But I do feel like I've had a lot of pockets of joy on this trip of like, just little moments. We even see there's dolphins out there right now, which is what Felicity was coming to tell me. We've seen so many dolphins out there in the Pacific Ocean, and we brought our like binoculars, which sounds creepy. No, we brought our binoculars and we were watching tons of people surfing. I don't think I've ever seen someone surf in real life. I've seen video, of course, but it was so cool. And there were like probably 50 people out there surfing and just watching them. I'm like, wow. I guess we're not far from Swami Beach, which is a pretty popular surfing spot. I think just generally this area is. And so, I mean, it's been every single day. And I learned that in the Beach Boys song, Surfing USA, which I know really well, there's one lyric I've never known what it was. It's Haggerty's and Swami's, something like that. But Swami, it's talking about that beach. I'm like, that's so cool. Like my little kid mind, what I thought of California was what I knew from like Full House and the Beach Boys, which was like San Francisco, but then also like, Surfing USA vibe, like people are always surfing and, my like 8-year-old mind. So it makes my heart happy to see like all the surf stuff. It's just cool. It's just super cool. I think that's pretty much everything. I hope you enjoyed hanging out. I sure did. It was nice to kind of catch up with you guys. I feel connected again with you guys. It's funny, I do when we go on trips, or if I just take time off, I actually really miss chatting with you guys and doing this. So it's always nice to kind of like reconnect. So like I said, I'll try to link everything that I that I used today down below, because I know I didn't necessarily talk about makeup, but I know a lot of you guys love makeup like I do, so you might be kind of curious. So definitely will do that. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this style of video, I do these kind of once a month. I will link my playlist if you want to check out last month's Coffee Chat Get Ready with me. I hope you subscribe if you're new here and you watched all the way to the end, wow. Thank you so much. I love you guys and I will see you in the next one. Bye, friends.